morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5-Minute Warning Miner on Monday, the 2nd of February. Yes, we're in February. Morning, Paul.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
And we've certainly started February in an interesting way. It was all kicked off, obviously, late on Friday. We saw the gold price and the silver price take one hell of a bashing. Actually, precious metals in general, because platinum came down with it as well. This morning, they're still suffering. Gold at 4,640, getting the numbers correct. Silver at $79. But what is interesting is it is very much gold and silver that have been hit. If you look actually at the tungsten price, for instance, it's still going stronger. If you look at the uranium price, it's slipped about $1 to 98.50. Copper hasn't been hit that hard. In fact, so what I would say, this is sort of phase 2 of a 5-phase bull market. It was a bit of a warning. Watch out, speculators. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. To be honest with you, we're still at incredibly high levels. But now maybe is the time to start thinking about switching out of precious metals exposure into more commodities where there is a genuine supply-demand issue. Would you agree with that, Paul?
I would agree with that, and there is a lot to play with in some of these other things like uranium and the tungsten and tin and that sort of thing. So yes, it's always better to diversify when the bargains are there.
Yeah, so, but I mean, in my view, again, we're in phase 2 now of a 5-phase bull market, so there's still plenty of time to make an awful lot of money in the commodity space. Moving to news this morning, probably just in time, funny enough, but although it's not a problem because the price is so much further, but Sierra Madre closed its second tranche of its $57.5 million offering that it was doing at $1.30. A very successful fundraise. As I say, probably pleased they closed it on Friday, but I mean, the price is significantly above the $1.30 at $2.35. So no one's going to be unhappy. So well done, Sierra Madre. There's a couple of bits of news actually on the two southwest of England companies that we follow. We probably follow these companies closer than anybody, partially because I spend so much time there myself. Although we don't act for either of these two, but Tungsten West have come out with an update. I'm obviously very happy to give my views on that. But Paul, you better talk through the update first.
Yes, that's right. Update on the project and the funding for the restart of the Hammerton Devon tungsten mine. They have put long lead orders in for key equipment and detailed engineering, even as the debt funding, as well as offtake term sheets and letters of intent have been distributed and are being progressed. I guess the key point from this particular press release is they have updated the project economics to more fully reflect the more current tungsten and tin market pricing. And that shows such a dramatic increase because of the dramatic move in the tin and the tungsten market pricing since the last economics were formally released. We're looking at project internal rate of return now almost 200% to restart this mine, given the market pricing fundamentals, and an NPV now at $1.7 billion US. So that just makes these term sheets and debt funding documents that much more compelling for lenders in order to put money into the restart of the Hammerton project.
Yeah, look, the market's reacted well, up 13%. I'm not sure there's an awful lot new in there that the real followers didn't necessarily know. They also put up an updated presentation, which just reminded me of a couple of things. One is that they've got 7 non-execs, which really is, frankly, a slight overkill for a small cap company, which isn't even in production. And also, of course, it gives a nice detailed breakdown of the free float of this company. There is 18% of free float, and probably about half of that is held by other CLN holders that were in the CLNs, dare I say it, people like myself. And therefore, the movement in the price of Tungsten West is probably going to depend pretty much on those small group of people and what they think is going on. So you sort of need to get into what my head is thinking, and some of my colleagues who are in them, to have a bit of a clue of where the price might go, but I'll let other people work out how to get into my head. Right. Anything else, Paul?
Just two things real quick, I would say. The other Cornwall area player in the news today, Cornish Metals, has appointed Berenberg Goslar as joint corporate brokers for the company with immediate effect. And we also see from Alien Metals that they have essentially formalized the sell down of their Mooney PGM project in the West Australia, West Pilbara region. It is Green Tech Metals, which is listed on the ASX, now has 70% of the project. But the thing Alien Metals, I think, enjoys out of this is not only the cash payment and the take up in payment that have 17% of Green Tech Metals shares, is that they are carried through or up to the BFS for the continuing exploration on the project without financial requirements on Alien Metals shareholders. So it's a nice carry on what is otherwise a pretty interesting project there in West Australia.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly on Cornish Metals, I did say there were two. You're absolutely right. They appointed Berenberg and Peel Hunt as the joint brokers. Then they have Hannam as a financial advisor, SB Angel as the nomad. So 4 advisors for a company just over 100 million. Again, not in production. Slight overkill, I would feel. Gosh, I'm being a bit cynical this morning, aren't I? It's very interesting. Cornish Metals. They do need to raise obviously quite a big chunk of money still to get this going, but I think they will. I have told them actually that I would know where to go and find it as well. So they will get there in the end, but obviously they're suffering slightly from the Lassonde curve effect at the moment. Everybody's waiting for that money to come in, just as they are for Tungsten West to a certain extent. Okay, well, look, that's an exciting start of the week anyway, Paul. We'll call it a day there, and we'll be back tomorrow.
All righty, see you then.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.